1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let's go. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. It is Wednesday, it's the 29th of January. Here's a fact for you. In the season 2017-18, Liverpool, after 38 games, finished with a total of 75 points to secure top 4 in the league. It's the 29th of January and Liverpool are sitting on 70 points from 24 games. 14 games left, 70 points. It's absolutely, and it's just simply outrageous. Let's be honest about it. Myself and Keith are here with you probably for the next half an hour or so. When I say that, it's probably going to be an hour. It all depends though, because Keith's moving between rooms as we talk, because his wife is watching Operation Transformation, and that has taken precedence in the Plunkett household this evening. Keith, 19 points clear. It's scandalous. I don't know where to go with it. It's just scandalous.
It's the 29th of January. I'm on 19 points clear on 70 points in the league. Like, it is for real. Do you know what I mean? Is this team for real? Because it's just ridiculous. And people still are sketchy, like, oh, Jesus, you know, I don't want to count my chickens before I've had 10 omelettes off this bleeding league. I've cracked that many eggs.
Yeah.
I love watching this team every week. It's a procession. It's an absolute procession to the title, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not like the last day of the season, last minute goal in front of the KLOPP is romantic and all that, but no, I'll take absolutely just nailing this very, very early, as quickly as we possibly can, and see where we go from there. Keith, the lineup, we're going to go through the game and we're going to be quite loose about the game because I'm just over the moon at 19 points. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy that we're on the same amount of games as everyone else. None of this, we have this game and if we win this, we're on 24 games each. We're 70 points. We're 19 points clear of Manchester City. And the rest, I can't even remember who else is in the league. I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at the team for tonight, back five, normal. He goes with the three in midfield with Chamberlain, Henderson and Alden. He puts Origi in there. Was Origi a little bit of a surprise to you? Because judging by his game on Sunday, he was appalling. But maybe he knew this game was coming for him on Wednesday night and thought, you know what, I don't want to get injured. It's a chance for me come Wednesday. Was that a little bit of a surprise?
I suppose when you look at it, it's not. It's the most obvious team he was going to go for. You know, we were all sort of second guessing what would happen. You know, you lose Mane, you lose one of the front three, and we're changing formation and all. You know, we're all going, might do 4-2-3-1, might go 4-4-2. No, you just stick Divock up there and be done with it. You know what I mean? Like it's just a consistency that they have. That he's happy to slot in the boys he knows. So he knew Divock could go in there. Look, I looked at it the other night and thought, Divock really was poor, and for parts tonight I thought Divock was poor as well, but he put in a shift then. You know, he had a few chances. He was the one that was winning penalties in the box. He was going down and he was battling and getting his points. Apologies there, I've just switched rooms, so
no worries,
we can get settled now. But now Divock, when you look at it, he's a lot of times when there's one missing, Divock is the man to go in, and I think, you know, it might have been a surprise, but it wasn't at the same time.
Yeah, listen, the comments are absolutely flying. Barry Holmes is off to Anfield on Saturday. I hope you enjoy it. Somebody else said, and he also says, absolutely unbelievable. His 12-year-old son, Nicholas, doesn't know how lucky he is. Somebody says there, Stephen Kingsbury says 97 points from our last 99. Played 33, won 32, drawn 1, lost 0. It's just phenomenal. I felt we dominated that game. I never felt like we were in any sort of... There was no issue. I did feel like we just turned up and went, listen, we're way better than you. West Ham knew we were way better than them, and we nearly agreed before kick-off. We'll beat you. If you want to throw it up to us, we'll beat you by more. but we'll take 2-0 and we walk away, because it was very, very controlled, Keith. We were well on top
Yeah,
for a large
it,
majority of the game.
it was that typical handshake on 2-0 job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a typical David Moyes, I've no chance of winning this, but I don't want to get absolutely slaughtered here. So he's delighted. I'd say he's gone out on the session now, celebrating a good 2-0 defeat. But it's just becoming routine. We never got out of second gear there tonight, Gav. It was just in there, do the business. Even though West Ham created a few chances, put us under pressure, it was more of our own sort of our own doing, really. Again, a lot of these matches lately, the other team's chances are all coming from maybe us lapses of concentration from ourselves. No one's sort of tearing us apart. No one's cutting us up, So I just think we're in this sort of cruise control mode now, getting through these games.
It genuinely felt like that. Like, you watch the first half, right? We get to the goal and stuff like that, but the first half ends, I go and, when you're watching a game, and a lot of people watch a game, there's a lot of emotion in it. You're not really taking it all in. You're just, it's tunnel vision. Score a fucking goal. The kind of way, score another goal, and that's the way it goes all the time. But when I watched the halftime, I went back and I thought, I think we had 70% possession. It was something like 380 passes to their 100. We had so many shots. They had one, I think, in the first half. Our pass percentage, success rate was in around between 88 and 90%, something like that. And it was just a case of, like, okay, we get a penalty, but it was just a case of, if we need to go through gears here, we will. But if we don't have to, we won't.
Yeah.
And it was nearly like, we're playing this game and we have a game on Saturday, and we're gonna literally make this, this 180 minutes, we're really preparing for the second 90 where we're playing this one. It was madness.
It's getting ridiculous, It's as you say, right, it took a penalty to get us 1-0 up, but I was never under any doubt that we wouldn't have got a breakthrough. We just looked comfortable. It was nearly like a training match. You know what I mean? We were just sauntering about. West Ham again. We spoke about their lineup. We're playing another team that's playing a back five, 2 sitting midfielders, 3 full backs in their bleeding back five. So the wide men aren't getting the space. It's just nobody wants to play against us. So it's just about us being patient and breaking them down, and we're finding a way all the time. Like, it's ridiculous what this team is doing, and it's not getting enough credit. It's not getting enough credit from our own fan base. I mean, right, we'll give credit. Obviously, we're positive about them and we'll give credit, but you look on Twitter and you'll still see people moaning about it. It's like, lads, what do you want? Do you know what I mean? What are you in it for? Say this. They love it when we were getting beaten. They can't handle this now. You know what I mean?
But
go on. No, go ahead.
No, it's just, I'm just like, there's loads of people coming in here, like, Dave's LFC chat says he needs to be pinched. He feels like he's dreaming. Roy Speakman says 70 points. Have we got any chance of Europa League? But Dave follows that up with another win. Is it another win? I'm a guaranteed Champions League football next season, which is mad.
Lovely.
Lurak says we have some easier fixtures coming up, while City have some tough ones coming up. Yeah, they go through a sticky spell. Now they do go through a sticky spell, and then I think with the last 7 or 8 is like walkovers, but it won't matter by then. Listen, if I better do this now. This show is sponsored by Paddy Power. It's a bookies, a website, and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly and try to do so with Paddy Power. This show, of course, is available on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that sort of mess, and you know how it works. If you're on Periscope, please share it onto your timeline. Of course, when this show is finished, it will be available for an audio download. You can get it on your Apple Podcasts, you can get it on Spotify, you can find it on YouTube. Go back and watch it on YouTube. You can also get it on the KLOPP.com app. They put all their stuff on their app as well, so look them up, the KLOPP.com. I think it's available on Apple and on Android, so it's really good for all your Liverpool based podcasts. Let me see. So listen, we're well in control. As somebody said in our WhatsApp group earlier, Keith, their furthest man forward is taking the ball into his feet and he's 10 yards inside his own half. That's how much we just pressed and this standing on their throat sort of thing. It was a real case of, no, we're not going nowhere. And if you want to try players, we'll play nice and high. And if you want to see if you can go in behind, try it. But no, we're dominating this game. But we get the penalty, and it's a clear penalty. Really good work by Firmino. Good ball into Origi. It's a decent touch. He is going to get there and have a go. I think Fabianski's probably narrowing the angle quite fast. The defenders are a little bit rash, but again, Origi's in there. He gets the touch, and listen, if he doesn't get fouled like that, he probably sticks it away. And on top of that, it's a really good penalty from Salah. It's decisive. He buries it. There's no messing about.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you're right. The Firmino's playing that build-up to get the penalty was excellent, and he done really well. Gets it to Divock. There's two of them are trying to blade and take him down in there, and if he doesn't get taken down, I agree. Roy, Fabianski might be getting out with. He's getting a toe poke in there. He's not going to, if he gets clear to them defenders, it's one-on-one. It's an easy finish. But Salah has improved when it comes to the penalties. For a while there, I don't know what it is. His technique at taking them still sort of gives me nightmares. You know what I mean? He runs up and he just mills them. But they're all going in at the moment, So if Milner's not on the pitch to take it, then Salah's the man. And once we got that tonight, confidence, every confidence that it was going in.
And it's one of those, like, I know what you're saying. It's that kind of long, bendy, hoppy run up to it. It's and it would put nerves on you. But I like the way he just smashes it in the corner. Like it's.
There's no giving the eyes and sort of dropping them going the wrong way and just milling this.
There's no kind of finesse to it, or try put it in that space there, or try out with the keeper and put it down the middle a little bit, and he just absolutely hammers it in as if to say, no, there's no messing here, just get this out of the way and we'd be flying. Lubac says we're 36 points clear of Manchester United, 30 points clear of Chelsea. We must be early 20s ahead of Leicester now at this stage. But the penalty comes at a really good time, Keith, because while we're well on top, I just got, when you start getting that feeling that if this gets to half time and it's 0-0 and they're able to regroup and and it gives them that little bit of hope, and the crowd will get up for it when they come out. But I think that goal kills them. It really, really does. Now, don't get me wrong, later in the game they have some chances, a couple of little bits and pieces, but and ALISSON plays very well. I have to point that out. But they were definitely looking to get the half time, Keith, and I think their biggest hope in the first half was to get there with no goals in the game. That's where I really, really thought, looking at it, and the penalty was massive.
Hope, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Their only hope, and I think it's most teams, get in here at 0-0 and let's see, and they're trying to walk it like that. Don't be getting beaten or go in only one behind, and then no real plan on top of that, just not get bladed and battered. The only thing now, West Ham, that crowd are blading brutal. They walk out. You see, there's massive problems there, and it was somebody that said to us it might have been on this show the other night, and he said, listen, and it might have been Avo actually that said it to us, and he said, lads, relax, this club are a mess. They don't like the stadium, they don't like the owners, they don't like the players, they don't like the manager, and as soon as anything goes against them, they just walk out of the ground. Yeah. Oh, it's madness. Like, they built that. Well, I know they didn't build that stadium. They got that stadium on the back of the Olympics or whatever. But all the teams with stadiums with running tracks are rare. They try to get rid of it. They try to get rid of them because we can't get atmosphere. There's two crowds too far away. They went from Upton Park, a noisy bastard of a little stadium, on top of you.
The fellas on the sideline were nearly running the line. They were nearly they could nearly put the flag up for offside. They were that close. Yeah,
exactly. And then they move and they go away from that. It's a classic case of, you lose your soul when you move to these new bleeding stadiums that haven't got any atmosphere. But West Ham had a bit of a thing going for them at Upton Park, and just fucking walked away from it to go into this thing, and nobody seems happy in it, miles away from where they want to be.
Yeah, and I've seen plenty of Liverpool fans come out and say it's the worst football ground that they go to. A lot of fans reacting to that afterwards. Avo says somebody said, I think it was Avo, said he's going to stick his neck out and say we're winning this league by 25 points plus. Let me see. Did Trent go off injured, or was it just to give him a bit of a rest? Asked Scouse French. I
thought he was a bit shit now tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping it was just a little bit rusty. Get him off. Don't have him to play the whole game, because he's going to play against Southampton. And as much as we're ahead. I think the Southampton is another marker in the season where he gets it out of the way and then he looks and says, right, we have this break. Yeah. And I know the infamous kind of cup game is all around this, but I definitely do think he looks like this. And I have heard people say he's looking to do literally a mini pre-season with them over this break and have them ready to go for the last bit of the season, and
which is great,
and that's going to be the Champions League factored in then. So hopefully he's just gone off there for a bit of a rest, and he was able to do it. And Henderson just slotted in there, played right back. No problem.
Henderson played very well when he went in there, and you do forget, Trent's only a young fella, and Robbo on the other side is the same. A lot of our play goes through them two fullbacks, and they play all the time, and they're bound to hit a bit of a wall every now and then. I thought, Robbo was caught out a few times, and Trent, I thought, had a bit of a poor game by his high standards.
Do you know? So just touching on that, right? Now, people have said Robertson has dropped off a little bit over the last. I think he's been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
What I would say is over the last maybe 2-3 league games, I've noticed Trent has dropped off a little bit, and his attacking hasn't been as potent. Right? Could it be a case that Robertson is being asked to do even a little bit more than he usually does, which is madness, mad stuff he does. But he's probably being asked to do a little bit more, and it's probably being focused down his side for creativity a little bit more, which makes it look like he's having a drop off. Because for me, he's fine. Yeah, and when you play that advanced as a fullback, you are going to probably look to be caught a little once or twice, and
the best fullbacks in the world get caught, and that's what it is. I mean, it's nitpicking on a team that's absolutely smashing records all over the place. We're looking for work. You don't want to be too positive all the time and gushing praise on them, but it's hard. Do you know what I mean? When they're this good, it's hard to be critical, But if you want to be critical, Robbo and Trent are maybe only at a 9 out of 10 there. That's my critique of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just scandalous how good they are. But as I said, we put a lot of pressure on them, and without any backups to them, Milner is probably the backup for both of them, but he's not getting any younger, and he's not there at the moment. So the boys are still having to play, whereas they might have needed over a busy Christmas. They probably could have done with a game out here and there, and maybe had to keep going.
Yeah, Darren says Gomez best English centre back right now. I think that's very hard to argue. Barry,
I don't know. I think Harry Maguire is
Phil good. Jones. Let me see. Avo said he's made up to see Naby getting on the pitch again. I think everybody is. And every time he comes on, I've everything crossed that he doesn't break down. So let's see what happens. Northred says Ox was great in the second half. Well, very well taken goal, in fairness. Paddy says Trent's passed the Virgil off the post though, lads. Absolute baller. Yeah.
True. Not many can do that, I suppose. But in all seriousness, what the fuck was he thinking about?
I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those where you do literally go, "What is he fucking playing at?" But
it was similar to the Shrewsbury fella, I suppose, the other day. The OG that he got, Donald Love, comes over, and you're like, "Where are you hitting that? Don't hit it there." And Trent comes back to him, and he's obviously just trying to put it behind, but bang, smashes it onto the post.
Yeah. And do you know what? It only takes a millisecond of taking your eye off the ball or concentration for you to just literally move your leg too early or too late, and you're doing something like that. Because if you watch the fella for Shrewsbury, he's trying to let that just clip off his foot and go out. He's not actually kicking it. He's just letting it hit off him. He just ends up in slightly the wrong position, and it's a brilliant finish. Barry Holmes believes Ox was fantastic in the second half. Dylan O'Rourke says, one thing I miss is deadline day drama. We're still in the transfer window. Signing's not an issue. When does that window close? Is it the 31st? Is it Friday night?
Yeah. Usually.
Sometimes it goes into the Monday, the February the 3rd or whatever.
It could I think it's the Friday. I don't know. We won't be playing having a part of it, so I don't really give a shit. Since they stopped fellas hitting Sky Reporters with dildos, I've lost interest in deadline day, because Liverpool. Liverpool don't tend to be doing anything on it, you know what I mean? The Vinny O'Connor's be outside Melwood, just be pitch black.
Listen, he's there with a flask and a load of sandwiches his ma made him. You know what I mean? And then he just sees the lights go off about 4:30. He rings his boss and says, "Can I go home?" And they go, "No, stay there just in case."
You never know. There could be a trick, double bluff.
Yeah. They're probably in there using torches instead of lights. Don't worry about it. Stephen Kingsley says Neil Wijnaldum to sign a new contract brings great balance to the midfield. I've heard that contract is all sorted and not to worry about it. That's what I've been told. So, and I'm not going to
let a player like that You know what I mean?
No.
It's such an important player. They're
Yeah, I
not going
think
to let a
he's 18
contract
months
issue.
left. He's 18 months left. You'll probably see a 2-year extension on that.
Yeah.
And then everyone's happy. Barry says Alisson world class again. No one is talking about him, and he's incredible. He is
He's
incredible.
ridiculous.
But the thing is, do you know something? How do I put this? If this team weren't doing this well, and this might sound mad, right? But if this team weren't doing this well, okay, I think more would be made of Alisson. And what I mean is, if we are dropping the odd point here and there, and then he pulls off a save, and you go, oh, they've got 3 points there, a lot will be made of him. But like you said, this procession that looks like this league title now at this stage, it's actually becoming the norm what Alisson is doing. On top of, he seems to be, and I said this last week, he seems to be 2 seconds in the future to the rest of the world. And when some fella thinks he's putting in the top corner, Alisson's moved his feet 2 steps and he's waiting for it. It's absolutely mad. Lubac calls him a Rolls Royce of goalkeepers. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Northred says Divock had an ice pack on his hamstring. We'll have to wait and see. But listen, we have options there in that end of the pitch for me. Minamino's there. Hopefully Shaqiri. But look, Curtis Jones came in there. You never know.
I thought he played very well as well when he came in. Curtis Jones.
Looks very settled in the side for me.
Something you touched on there earlier, Gav, was it's the best pressing I've seen from us in a while as well. I thought Firmino, Mo, and even Jones when he came on, Keita, they were all snaffling at the West Ham players. Even though we were 2-0 up, they were all trying to get in, chomping at the bit, trying to get the ball back up high. And I thought Jones, when he came on, he really tried to do it as well, which is great to see. You know what I mean? A young flick can get in, you're 2-0 up, you're getting on for the last, 6-7 minutes, whatever it was. And you can just sort of arse about and soak in, another Premier League appearance. But he got stuck in there, and it's part of his game that maybe a lot of us haven't seen. You see the worldy goals or whatever, you don't see the dirty work, but he's willing to do it, and that's a good sign, especially for a team like ourselves that rely heavily on that sort of work.
But you know what the thing is, for me, with Jones, and going back a year or two ago when he was very, very young, going on American tours with Liverpool and stuff like that. I might be now in Asia, I'm not too sure. I think it was America though. And I thought, looks a bit lightweight, looks to maybe try to do a bit too much when he shouldn't. And then, when he should try something extra, he's a bit safe. Having said that, when I watch him now, he looks very comfortable in his own skin, where he's able to go in and he's very settled looking. And what I mean by that is he knows when to lay it off easy. He knows when to turn on it. He knows when to hit a 10-yard pass or a 20-yard pass. He seems to be very comfortable in the system we play and the position he's finding himself in, because he is in a position where he's more or less, he's probably higher at the pecking order than Jared and Shaqiri. That kind of way. So a player like that can come in and try too hard and it doesn't quite go for him. Some of them hit the ground running and they're outstanding. But for me, Curtis Jones just looks very comfortable in his surroundings, and that can only be a good thing. And I'd like to see.
He looks like he can make it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like he. I agree with what you say. Some players will go in there, and we've had young players over the years, and they've come into the team and they've just tried too hard, and it hasn't worked out for them, and they've fallen off a cliff. And even if you look at the likes of Brewster, who a lot is made of, he's the backup to Firmino and all this, and this is going to be his breakthrough year, and it just never happened. He played games and just maybe, cup game or whatever, and was just trying too hard, whereas Jones looks like he's taking it all in the stride. And the interview we done after the Everton game, when he said he was frustrated that he's not in more teams, you can look at that as being, Jesus, keep your feet on the ground, will you? Or you can say, look, this fella is doing everything that's asked of him, and that's why he's frustrated. And it looks to be the latter. I think he's one that could actually force his way into the squad for next season for a more prominent role. And at the age, he's only 18 or 19. I
look at him, and when you've mentioned a couple of lads there, I see him. I could possibly see him going in where Lallana is.
Yeah.
And saying, right, he's a younger version of Lallana. We're going to make him a younger version. He is going to press. He is going to hold on to the ball. He is going to look to break lines and stuff like that. He could be a really, really good one. North Red says, we've beat every team in the league, the earliest team to do it since the 9th of February, 1888-89.
What a
Preston
season
North
that
End.
was.
That's unbelievable.
What a season. Preston North End and Royal Engineers and the old Etonians and all these boys.
Yeah.
No numbers on the jerseys. Played with a ball that weighed about 14 stone.
Yeah,
Great days. Great season.
Days. No gloves on the goalkeepers, no messing,
Yeah.
nothing like that. The scenes on our summer tour will be epic, says Stephen Kingsbury, when we go as champions of England. I genuinely think if Liverpool were to win this with 6 games to go, it would literally be a 6-week party right up until the final whistle on the final day of the season, and then it'd be another party after that. I think it's going to be. If you think that European Cup win was big last season, I genuinely tell you, it'll be in the halfpenny place compared to what's going to happen. I genuinely believe that. Like I'm being honest with you, now this is just me. I would say in the last week to 10 days, I've had about 30 people asking me when I'm going over to Liverpool, what's the flights like? And like the flights are gone mad. But people are going, don't care, fly over, I'll get the boat, I'll do whatever.
Yeah, get
you
the
know what I
boat,
mean?
fucking round boat at this stage.
There's fellas talking about going, I think one fella was telling me he was to try saving it. He was going to go to Belfast, get the boat over to...
Oh, I heard it's very expensive to go from Belfast.
No, the boat over to wherever they go in Scotland.
Go from there.
And then train it down from to try reduce costs. So it's madness. Like I'm telling you, it's going to be off the fucking charts. Luback says Nico Williams looks the real deal as well. Yes, he does. But listen, he's really, really young. You know, the kind of way he probably needs a tour behind him and a pre-season to see how much he's progressed. Yussi says, I was so impressed with our pressing, particularly Mo. Right place at the right time. Some bad passing, though, gifted them chances, particularly Fab, but also Genie ones. Yeah, Fabinho did look a bit... Fabinho still looks a bit rusty for me.
Yeah. He's not one that gets back quick, is he? Like from an injury, I'd say.
No, and he's working his way into it. But I think another half an hour against Southampton, and then you look at... You know, this break, and he gets
this
everyone
break
back.
is, getting them all to this break is key, isn't it? If even the likes of Divock, whatever's up with him, just another game and a home game against Southampton. Southampton are a good team, but a home game, get through this one, and then there's a nice little 2-week gap. Try and get a few bodies back, and then see where we are.
He wants to get them back in prime condition for the Champions League now. That's my opinion. Dylan O'Rourke says the driving range went well. Gav, never got on to you. Oh yeah, we were talking about this the other night. You went on last night, I think he said Tuesday night. How did you get on? Let me know. That reminds me, whenever I see Dylan's name, if anybody has any random questions, throw them in now, and we're meant to finish in 2 minutes, but it won't be 2 minutes. Throw them in and we see how we get on. It'll be lovely lifting the trophy versus Chelsea, poetry, emotion. Yeah, when you think back to it, actually 2013-14 and the whole Chelsea game and everything, to lift it there, I think it'd be quite nice, and that's when you will get the trophy, your last home game. Dylan O'Rourke says he might cycle one of them Dublin bikes over for the final day. Best of luck to you.
Not a bad idea, Dylan. Not a bad idea, mate.
Best of luck. All the best with it.
You can sleep on it as well, because you won't be getting a hotel.
Listen, 2-0. All right. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I was thrilled he got a goal. Really thrilled. I actually had him in our Paddy Power charity bet tonight. I had Chamberlain to score. I had Liverpool to win. And then the other two things that were going with it was I needed one more goal in the game, and I think it was under 11 corners or something like that. It would have won us about £100. It never came in. So it's one of those where we haven't won at tonight. But I was delighted to see him get a goal. West Ham have a corner, and we decide, oh great, that means there's loads of space at the other end of the pitch. But it's a great move. It's a brilliant first touch to get him across the defender, and it's a really cool finish, isn't it?
It's a great goal, and I think Shawnee put it in the WhatsApp group earlier. An opponent's corner now for us is as good as a free kick. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we just break, they get a corner on us, and we're just looking to break with the pace and the slick pass. And people still call us a long ball team, lumping it and all. And you just see goals like that, and it's like, that's what we're about. That's what Klopp's teams are about. Quick break, bang, bang, bang. Mo with a great pass in as well. He gets called greedy, but I think he put in a good one there tonight, and I thought it was a great goal. And in my house, my uncle loves Ox. He's his favourite player. So that's a little bonus, a little pep in his step tomorrow as well. So yeah, happy with that.
Dylan has decided he's making I think he's sending out penalty points to people. He says he's talking about if you get 8 points, you're banned for a year. I think it's socks and sandals. You get so many points. Now, Dylan, you'll have to explain a bit more to me. Avo says Richarlison 85 million with loads of laughy faces. Is that still ongoing?
Barcelona.
I did see something earlier about it, and I thought, what the fuck's going on here?
I think Barcelona are acting the bollocks. Like, it's like with Bruno Fernandes, they pretended they were after him as well.
Yeah.
And they got their skates on and signed them.
It's I don't know, 85 million. I'd be taking their fucking hand off if they were offering 85 million for him.
Oh, yeah.
Roy Speakman says, really absolute bollocks. He loves Liverpool. Listen, Roy, nice to the point, and I like it. Leoback says, if Ox can stay fit, he might hit top form for Europe. Yeah, it's another body, and all you want is players being in top form, fighting for spots in this team, and we're having more and more arguments about possible lineups because there's so many options there. Let me see. Are we letting Ings score this weekend for a 4-1? No, we're not. No. Okay. Has he been injured the last couple of games?
He was on the bench and he came on. Didn't he play in a set-up that goal the weekend, I think, against Spurs? Yeah, he set up their equaliser.
Right.
So I think he might have just been getting a rest or whatever.
I've seen a couple of lineups and he wasn't in there. Maybe it was a rest because I'd say even though he's been in top form this season, he's probably one that has to be nursed a little bit when it comes to things. Stephen Kingsbury says he would love to sign a down of Traore this summer. Brilliant cover for Salah and Mane, and only 23. I'm not too sure on that one. Oh, sorry, Dylan O'Rourke is handing out travel penalty points. So basically, people who bring their own rashers and sausages get 6 points. People that wear socks and sandals get so many points. Yeah, it's good. Any random questions at all, throw them in and we'll see where we go from there. There is certain bits that go on in the game, and West Ham look like they put up more of a fight in the second half, but mainly when it goes to 2-0 for me.
Damage limitation.
They do have bits and pieces, but you couldn't have asked for a better game. I think looking forward to another game on Saturday, you couldn't have asked for a better game really. Like when you look at the last 10 minutes, like we're just passing, and they're not even trying. It turned into a training game, but it was a really good lead up to a game coming Saturday. After playing Wednesday night and playing Saturday afternoon, it wasn't bad, was it? Just the way we controlled it.
Not only that, after all the shite over the Shrewsbury thing, and Klopp saying they'd be playing like. We've been vilified again in the press, over that. And you could tell they were all sort of, praying this could derail Liverpool. This could be the slip that we're all waiting on. Professional job, move on, nothing to see here, which is great. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. It was so controlled. Porrigo Callan says he got flights from Dublin to Manchester for 50 quid return today, flying out Friday, back Monday. That's for the Chelsea game. But I'm talking about, I know we're away on the last day of the season. I'm talking about people talking about the last day of the season here, when we're away in Newcastle. It's literally, even if we have the League One, it's just a case of when the league finishes. I think so many Liverpool fans want to be in Liverpool to say, we've won a week ago, but the league is over now, and we look at a final table. That's it's going to be mad. Dylan O'Rourke reckons Spurs get a point off City at the weekend. We can go 22 points clear, can't we? Because we played before them.
We played before them, and it's true. Spurs, they're flaky as fuck. They are bringing in bodies, you know what I mean? If they get Steven Bergwijn over the line, he is a good player. Not that he'd probably play at the weekend.
Think it's done.
But,
I think that one's done.
Is that done, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
And they signed Lo Celso permanently. They've got rid of Eriksen, which he was a good player, but he was sort of a bit of a distraction there for this season. They might be getting their shit together, but maybe not in time to do anything against City. But see, City have, you said it earlier, they have a tricky fixture list coming up, but they also have Real Madrid in there, and the way the Champions League fixtures have gone, like there's a 3-week break between the first and second leg, which is fucking ideal for us, because they have to navigate those those games with one eye on City, you know what I mean, on Real. So
you could probably have 3 league games in there where they're trying to play as many fringe players as they can. Yeah. Well, probably not as many fringe players as they can, but they're trying to give as many rests.
And I know a City fringe player probably costs 50 or 60 million, but there is a big drop off, and they rest certain players, you know what I mean, or some other of their reserve players come in. It does be a big drop off, and teams have seen the, not frailties is the wrong word, but the sort of vulnerability maybe in City. The invincibility isn't there anymore. So if they show a sign of weakness, you'll have teams will jump on them. I mean, United beat them tonight again at the Etihad.
Well, there you go. Yeah, as Dylan says, a tough one tonight. Another loss to All Age United tonight. And he also says, sorry, Luback says Spurs have signed Bergwijn. So there you go. Royce Speakman says, how good for a Mackham to raise a Premier League trophy at St James's. It won't happen there. It'll happen at Chelsea at home. It's usually our last league game of the season if you have it won. But I've just, listen, I'd say getting over there for the Chelsea game would be madness. Trying to get a ticket will be madness. But I do know for a fact the last day of the season will be madness in Liverpool that weekend, because a lot of people will be looking at it saying, if it's won and the league is over, to be possibly a trophy parade. So that's why a lot of people are going over for that weekend. Some people have said no, it won't, because if we're in FA Cups or we're in Champions League finals, it won't happen. But
I thought I seen it confirmed.
Yeah, I thought I seen it confirmed as well, that Liverpool have more. You see, you have to remember, it takes a lot of planning for these things. You can't just turn up 1 week and go, I want this done. This would have to be planned and put to the council and everything else.
The police and all.
Yeah, it has to be done.
Police it has to swear it off.
Yeah, it has to be done well in time.
And here, that parade, it's going to be carnage.
Well, to be honest
with you, that Champions League one was what, $750 million.
Yeah,
I think double it, treble it.
I don't know I don't know how many people you get, but it could be off the wall altogether. But people like quite rightly mention FA Cups, and now the FA Cup thing, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm not too arsed with it. But if the Champions League one is 2 weeks after the league ends, you will probably see a second parade. You possibly could see a second parade. Genuinely.
Loads of parades, yeah.
You could, But if Liverpool had to pick one, I'd say they would just go, listen, we'll have a parade for the league title. If we manage to win a Champions League, it could be a case of, I don't know, a thing outside St. George's Hall and everyone goes down and cheers it and away we go, the kind of way. Yeah. It's one of them. When does the party start, gents? When do we book a booth in Pop World? I'd start booking it now. I really would. Stephen Mack said it's going to be a pilgrimage in May to rival Mecca. They'll be sleeping in ditches for a week.
It'll be like Woodstock. People will be coming from everywhere. It's going to be outrageous.
Yeah.
Because it's been that long, and not only that, it's not like it's been 30 years since he waiting for a league title, right? The release of all the shit that everyone's had to put up with for 30 years. Do you know what I mean? It's, you don't want to get too deep in, but even for Liverpool people, Liverpool as a city has traditionally been shit on by a lot of the UK and governments and all that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So this is just something that's going to lift the city up. Well, the red side of it, anyway. It's going to lift it up, and it's just going to be party central. It's
going to be mayhem.
On wheels, that city is.
Mayhem. Shawnee Lawson says, all right, lads, smell of champions off this team. You know what? Shawnee said something in the WhatsApp group earlier, and he said, it's not like City are trying to catch us anymore. They're just trying to prevent the inevitable, and I love that. When you actually think about it like that, it just makes you a little bit giddy. Stephen Kingsley says, did I see the May the 18th, or have I imagined it for a possible parade? No, you're correct. The last game of the season, May 17th, and they are talking about May 18th. But listen, it won't matter. Do you know what I mean? If Liverpool win this league title, and you get to Liverpool, any week between them winning it and the season ending, you're going to have a bleeding deadly time. Do you know what I mean? You really, really are. Get on to people you know. Get on to people you know in Liverpool. Get on to people you know in England. Get on to people you know anywhere else, and get them all to go with you. Just bring a load of people. Let me see. Don't fuck with cats. What did you make of it? Haven't started. Heard mixed reviews. It's really good. Good. But I listened to a podcast called Sword and Scale, probably going back about, I'd say, over a year ago, and they actually talked about this on it. I didn't know that at the time. I turned on this Don't Fuck With Cats, and I was watching, and then they said your man's name, and went, I know this fella. And when I look back through the podcast I'm subscribed to, Sword and Scale, which is a brilliant podcast, done an episode on this fella, but it's really, really good. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I really enjoyed it, I have to say. Let me see. The council will have 2 months to organise the parade. We're that good, says Avo. Northred says Dylan tells Dylan it is a brilliant show. We could have the league won by the time we play the Champions League quarters if we get past it. Let it go, says Porrick. Listen, just give me the title. I don't care when it is. Just give it to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a man for putting dates on it. Someone did ask me the other day, when do you reckon it'll be? I think I picked Villa at home, which is about 6 games from the end, 7 games from the end. I think I picked that. Let me see. Oh, now, here. Sevi Park Lee says, my flat holds 500,000 people. Get over here. All are welcome. Now, there you go. Everyone's sorted. Sevi has
Happy
a really
days.
large flat. What else? What's bigger, an FA Cup League double or a Champions League double? Oh, the Champions League double is...
Oh, yeah.
Shawnee Lawson says Madrid was bonkers. So, Shawnee Lawson was in Madrid, right? Didn't get a ticket for the game. Went over anyway. Had an absolute mental 3 days. He was sending us videos. Steve-O was with him. Dicko was there, Andy Young's brother Mick was there, there was other lads there. They had a bleeding brilliant time. Shawnee will tell you it was off the charts over there, anywhere between 50 and 100,000 Liverpool fans in Madrid that weekend. Just looking at that and looking at the parade last year, if we win this league title, I swear to God, every Liverpool fan, will do their best to be in Liverpool. That's the way I just look at it. Let me see. If City lose to Spurs, they might drop their heads for the remainder of the season. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Dylan O'Rourke says sugar sandwiches for everyone when we win the league. I'll pass. Thanks. I'm not having sugar sandwiches. It's tenement.
It's fantastic. You don't know what you're missing out on, Gav.
Yeah, I was making a lasagna the other day. I was meant to make it on was it Monday? I was meant to make it.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I made it yesterday. Lovely. Really enjoyed it.
Have a sugar sambo after this.
No, I'm not having a sugar sandwich. After this, I'm going in to have some toasted bagels with ham and cheese on them. But bagels are the hottest thing in the world. They're hotter than lava.
Bagels?
Yeah, toasted bagels are just...
Yeah,
you have to put oven gloves on when you're taking them. Avo says, all Irish welcome to my house, but no cultures. That's a bit much, isn't it?
So all Irish, but no cultures. Lovely.
All I do know is that any of the day trippers that are going over between now and the end of the season seem to have themselves sorted with accommodation. That's the last I heard. But as I said to you, lfcdaytrippers@gmail.com. Drop us an email. Let us know what weekend you're going over, what date you're going over, where you're staying, what you're planning on doing. The only thing we ask is that if you want to come along and have a drink, come along and have a drink. You need 2 things. 1, you need a very thick skin. That's one thing I want to say to you. And 2, you need stamina. If you have them, you're more than welcome. But drop us an email because they're the easiest things to see.
You want to get in training for that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Get out, get running, get laying, squatting, get doing your lunges and your...
Or just buy a load of cans and just drink a couple of cans a day and that'll get your stamina up.
There's a lot to be, there's a lot involved in it, Gav. You have to really do the hard yards, I'd say. You can't just do a few cans a day and think that'll do it. You have to build up to these things.
Yeah. Because I'm genuine in saying that if anyone is around and is in Liverpool between now and the end of the season, just drop us an email that you're going over. And if any of our lads are over, they're more than happy to meet up with people, have a drink. Absolutely fine. Stephen Kingsbury says tomato soup and buttered bread is perfect for a late evening snack. I'm not mad on tomato soup.
It can be hit and miss. It can be good and it can be crap. But yeah, tomato soup and bread.
The next soup I want to make is French onion soup. It's
really?
Yeah, that's the next soup I want to have a go at. Maverick says 7 more wins to go. That's absolutely correct. Anyone telling you 8 is lying to themselves. 7 more wins will do it. 7 more wins gives you 91 points. And 91 points will win it because no other team in this league is topping 90. Anything else before we go, Keith?
No, just that the Reds are great, We say it all the time, like it's getting boring, but...
How happy do you be going into work every morning? Like, is there fellas in your job? Like, I don't know exactly what you work at, but is there fellas at your job, like whether it's an office environment or any other environment? Is there fellas in there that are united and
I'm the only Liverpool one.
No way. How many is there?
There's 5 other blokes, and now there's a mix. There's a Birmingham Leeds, but United as well, and there was other United, and even in the building, like I work in an office. There's not many Liverpool around the place, so I'm going around like an absolute smoke bastard.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I'm walking around whistling. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league. And everyone's going mad. And it's like, stop singing that, stop whistling. Nah, you're all right, lads. I'll keep it up if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Smugness.
I just get fellas going to me. I won again last night, and I just keep going. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? Shawnee said he'd risk. Shawnee said he'd risk a trip to the shop in Wuhan for an invincible treble. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Can't argue with that.
No. Listen, I'm willing to let Shawnee do that. Shawnee and his shoulders will go in there now, and come back. There wouldn't be a bother on him. Wouldn't be a bother on him.
Coronavirus there.
All the good looks to just knock the bollocks out of that coronavirus.
That's what it takes, yeah. People are overthinking these things. Just send a handsome devil in.
Yeah, just send shoulders in, it'd be grand.
Job done.
Let me see. Ray Dickinson is looking at booking his Chelsea flights now. Someone did say earlier, Ray, 50 quid return in and out of Manchester, if that works for you. Lewback says, remember the manic depression of the Y Hodgson days? Jesus, yeah. Oh, God. I'm not getting into that.
Great times.
But yeah, I think workplaces is great. I know Shawnee, and I'll keep mentioning Shawnee because he's in the chat. But Shawnee said he's going to be the worst cunt possible when we win the league. He said he's going to be eating his lunch on his own for a year because no one.
It's the only way it can be. It's the only way it can be. We've took so much shy for years.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And any of them that'll tell you again, going back to the whole tainted title thing and all that. That's excellent. I love all that shit.
Yeah.
But me bollocks.
Yeah.
We've had to listen to this crap for years. I'm gonna be as unbearable and as smug and everything. Like Shawnee, I'll be sitting on my own.
Yeah. Have you come across any, say, United? Because United are usually the benchmark when it comes to this, because I find United fans of a certain age, they don't really know a lot about football. I'm going to be honest about you. But have you found any United fans, Chelsea fans, Everton, I don't know, and the people you mix with, who do you support? But have you found any like rival fans that turned up and just went, no, they're just fucking brilliant, and they're probably going to go down as the best team you've ever seen in the league?
Oh no,
no.
I've a couple that a couple of people that I know are United fans, and they'd be absolute hardcore ball bag United fans, and they've actually said, fair play, you know what I mean? Is that the best team? But not many of them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's not many of them. I'm still going out and having to listen to them all. But if you didn't have VAR, you aren't even that good, City are better. I love hearing that. That's like, yes, give me more of that. Yeah. Give me more. City are better, you say. Tell me more. Tell me more how City are better. Yeah. 19 points behind. Like, could you ever fuck off? But that just makes it all the sweeter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what about yourself? Are you getting much of it?
Well, do you know what? I kind of get people not giving out. They're just going to go, Liverpool won again. And, they're kind of, it's more downhearted than that now. And I just, like you said, I just keep going, they're great, aren't they? And then I leave it at that, because I think to myself, don't peak too soon, Gaff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't peak too soon. That's what I keep thinking to myself. But no, I have had one United fan in particular. I'll tell you now, he's my brother-in-law. And he was around the house the other day. We just beaten Wolves. Wolves was last Thursday night, wasn't
it?
Yeah. So he was around. He was around on Saturday, and United had been beaten by Burnley, hadn't they? Yeah. And I came around and I said, what's the story? And I said to him, did you watch the match the other night? And he goes, don't fucking start, don't talk to me. And I turn around and goes, well, I won't talk to you about Liverpool then, that'll only annoy you even more. And he goes, no. He said, they're just playing football like champions. He said, and they have done for a long, long time. And he be staunch United, but he just said no. He said, look, people can say what they want. They're playing football as champions, so it's as simple as that.
That's it, you know what I mean? You can't really argue with that.
Can you name this player? He's been on both sides of a 5-0 win in El Clasico. The first person I thought of was Luis Figo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Then I thought of Luis Enrique.
Both sides of a 5-0 win.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They're the only two I could think of that have played for both sides. Then again,
but then he probably didn't play. Both sides 5-0 win in an El Clasico.
I would have thought Luis Enrique or Luis Figo, but there's probably someone else that's played for Real Madrid.
Bernd Schuster played for both of them, but probably I'm thinking more Enrique and Figo.
Yeah, there's probably something there, but 5-0. Yeah.
Michael Laudrup, did he play for the two of them?
Did he play for both of them? He might have. Anyone know the question?
I think it's Michael Laudrup.
Paddy has Ronaldo. Oh, Ronaldo, yeah. The original
Oh yeah,
Ronaldo.
him, yeah, the good one,
Yeah.
the chunky one.
He was brilliant, he was.
Oh, he was, yeah.
Dylan O'Rourke has incorrect, so it's obviously someone not too obvious, is it? We'll have to wait and see. But look,
Yeah.
we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave... when are you doing the Gerrard show, Gav? Avo keeps asking this. Avo, my schedule is all over the place at the minute. I'll probably... I don't know. I'll have to probably leave. I'll get something together. It'll probably be a pre-recorded one though, where I'll record it and then release it rather than it being live. So we'll leave it at that. But I have to find the right people. I can't just get a lot of people that want Gerrard as manager. I can't get a lot of people that don't ever want him as manager. But I'll get a show together, and I promise I will do it. Literally, I think I had a mini stroke there. Yeah, I promise I will do that show for you, Avo, because you have asked on numerous occasions. Keith, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Liverpool, as we've said, are 19 points clear in the league. There's 14 games left. 7 wins. That's my opinion. 7 wins. Thanks.
It's already won, Gav. It's already won. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It's 14 more parties, 14 more fiestas. Happy out.
Yeah. Just enjoy the ride, I suppose. Keith, thanks a million for joining us.
No worries. Always a pleasure, Gav.
Good stuff. Today is Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday night doing a preview for Southampton. I'll be back on Sunday night for the Sunday night show as normal, and then the club will be back on Monday. Hope you enjoyed the show. Liverpool just keep winning. Just keep counting to 19 in your head and see how long it takes. It's mad. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.
Good luck.
Yeah.